What's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel, Magazine Multimedia. My name is Simaso. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn how to create flyers for social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. But before we begin, consider subscribing to the channel, like the video, share the video, leave your comment, and smash that notification bell so that you can always get notified anytime I post a new video. Now let's take a quick start. We are diving in. Open up Photoshop on your computer. Yeah, this is the flyer I'll be designing with you, and it's Happy Friday flyer. The first thing we need to do is to create a new document. So right click in this area and choose New Document. From the New Document dialog box, enter your document title or name in the name field, and this will be Happy Friday. Set your width to 4 inches, height 4 inches, resolution 300 pixels per inch. Color mode RGB color. Background content white color. Go ahead and click on OK. Now let's bring in our guidelines. Click and drag on the horizontal ruler to fetch the horizontal guideline and snap it to the center. Click and drag on the vertical ruler to fetch the vertical ruler and snap it to the center. Now let's bring in our element of design, which are basically the pictures, the text, the shapes, the colors, the lines, etc. So we'll be bringing in this photograph. So I'll go to my downloads folder and pick my photograph. I generated this photograph with artificial intelligence. I use Meta AI to generate this photograph. And the prompt I used for generating this photograph is a beautiful image of an African girl. So I'll drag it into my document, place it like so. Click on the check button to accept the placement. Step on this anchor, click and drag inward to reduce the height a little bit like this. Click to accept the transformation. Now I'll delete the background of this image. But before that, I'll pick my foreground color from the background color. Now let's use the eyedropper tool to set our foreground color to this cyan color. Give it a click and click in the background. Now we have the foreground color the same as the background color of the image. Right click on the layer of the image and rasterize layer. Activate the magic eraser tool, then click to erase the background of the image like so. Alright, now we are done deleting the background of the image. Now we'll be setting a background to the image again along the line. Come to this area and create a new layer using the new layer tool. Alright, activate the paint bucket and click in the background. Now let's move this layer beneath the image. Alright, click in the background to get it selected, then step on this anchor, then click and drag inward. Press down the shift key, then accept the transformation. We will be inserting our contact information and social media handles in this white area. Now let us bring in our tests as I did here. So the first test we'll create will be this one. Click on the type tool, then click in the document area, and let us bring this test. Activate the test tool, then click in the document area. Let's change our text color to white so that we can see what we are typing. All right, let me move this in. Let's increase the size of this font. Commit the transformation. Then let's move our photograph to the right a little bit, like so. Then we move this text down here, like so. Use the transform controls to increase the height of the text a little bit. Press Ctrl and J to duplicate the text. Then drag it down. Then we will decrease the height of this one. Then we will change this from Happy to Friday. Then use the transform controls to decrease the size. Alright. Yeah, I think this is cool. Now we'll be creating an effect like this. Okay. So we need to bring these text layers beneath the layer of the image like this. Alright. And then we will duplicate this by pressing Ctrl and J on the keyboard. Keep the copied text layers selected and click and drag them above the image. Go to fill and reduce the fill to 0%. Double click on the happy text layer to bring up the layer styles dialog box. All right, now we have our layer style dialog box. Click on stroke. Set the stroke size to 3 pixels. Position inside. Opacity 100%. Blending mode normal. Fill type color white. Go ahead and click on OK. Good. Now can you see that effect? All right, so let's do same to the Friday test layer. Double click on the layer to bring up the layer style dialog box again, and then you go through the same process to create this effect as well. Yeah, guys, what can you say about this? I think this is cool. Now we need another test here. This one. Okay, so we are going to create it. We will bring in our message here, our happy Friday message. But because we have already learned how to create tests in Adobe Photoshop, I'll save time. I will import my message from the already designed flyer in order to save some time. So I'll come over here and then drag it to the new document like so. Then I'll align this well. Can you see that? Can you see how cool this is? Now let us create our contact numbers and social media handles in this white area as mentioned earlier. But we will first bring in the glyph icons. All right, that is WhatsApp, call, Facebook, and YouTube. So I'm going to create these glyph icons in this white area. So I'll head over to my downloads folder and pick my glyph icons from here. All right, let's drag them to our document. Let's accept the placement and accept. All right, we need to rasterize all these elements in order to edit them to meet our needs. So I'll right click on the WhatsApp glyph icon and rasterize layer. I'll activate my magic eraser tool, then delete. All right, now let me decrease its size and I'll accept the transformation, and then I'll move it down here. Then I'll decrease the size of the Facebook icon, accept the transformation, and then I'll bring it somewhere here. Now let's get rid of the white area around the call glyph icon. So again, let's rasterize this, magic eraser, then delete. Let's resize this down here. I'll zoom in here, select the call glyph icon. I'll change this green color here to the red color over here in the image. So I will activate my eyedropper tool, then select my red color from the head here, and then I'll activate my paint bucket tool, then color. Select the WhatsApp glyph icon, then activate the paint color, and then change the color here, change this one as well, and then change this one. I think this is cool. Yeah. Then let us do same to the Facebook icon, activate the paint bucket. Then let us convert this into a pixel-based layer by rasterizing it, then paint. We have painted our glyph icons with the color we picked from the headgear. It's time for us to bring in our YouTube logo, but I haven't downloaded it, so we are going to create it together. Right click on the shape tool and choose rectangle. So I'll step here and click and drag so that we'll get equal dimensions for the Facebook and YouTube logo. Right, I'll drag it somewhere here, then press Ctrl and G to duplicate this. Then let's introduce some guidelines so that we can create this logo as required. Good. I am creating a YouTube logo out of these two rectangles. All right. I've actually got a video tutorial on how to create a Facebook logo and then YouTube logo. So you can check that video out on the channel. Now, I want to create a new shape out of this rectangle, a triangle, of course. So I'll activate my polygonal lasso tool, then click in this area, this point, this area, and then I have a triangular selection. So I'll right click and choose copy from the options. Now I'll turn the visibility of this layer off, and then I'll change the color from red to white to make it visible. So I'll double click on each layer, then color overlay. So my background color is set to this color, so I'll change it to white, then okay and okay. Now we have our triangle created, but I'll resize this to meet my preference. I'll commit the transformation from here. I'll hold down my control key, then click in the thumbnail of this layer. Now I'll activate the triangle layer, and then I'll align this to the center. Now let's bring in the contact information and then the handles, the Facebook handle and then the YouTube handle. So again, we will import our contact information and social media handles from this design so that we can save some time. So I'll drag this over to the new document like so, and I'll position this well, and then our Facebook. Now let's duplicate this for the YouTube as well, and I'll align this well, and then my YouTube logo. We are at the point of finishing. We are left with one thing. I'll place my logo here, but before that, I'll insert another shape, a rectangle shape, of course, over which I'll place my logo. I'll activate my rectangle tool here, and then I'll click and drag in this area to introduce my rectangle. And then I'll change the fill color from red to white, like so. I'll collapse this, and I'll skew this. I'll press Ctrl and H to bring in my guidelines and transform controls. So I'm going to skew this by pressing down my control key and then dragging to the left, like so. I'll commit my changes from here. So it's now time for me to bring in my logo over this shape. So I'll head over to my file directory of my logos, Maxim Multimedia, then Maxim Multimedia Collection, and then I've got all my logos in this folder. I'll be using this one. I prefer this one, which is in PNG file format. I'll click and drag it, and then over to my shape like this. There's no problem. I'm gonna get it resized. Ctrl+O to zoom out, and then I'll resize this to meet my need. Then I'll drag it over to the rectangle shape like this. Let's zoom in. And then I'm gonna move this in a little bit. Then I'll increase the width of this shape in order to accommodate my logo. Guys, how cool is this? We are done, but I've got some few elements to add in this area. Take a look at this. Check this out. Guess what tool I used for this element? I use the ellipse tool. So I'll go over to my shape tool, right click on it, and then ellipse tool. So then I'll change the fill color from red to white, and then I'll click and drag. Press down the shift key for a uniform circumference. We don't want an irregular shape of this ellipse, all right? And then I will zoom in a little bit. I think this is cool. I'll press Ctrl and J to duplicate this, and then I'll move it to the right. I'll press Ctrl and H to hide the smart guides, the guidelines, and then the transform controls so that we can actually see what we are doing. All right. And I'll press Ctrl and J again to duplicate this one as well. I think this is getting interesting. All right. So I'm going to select these 3 layers together, then Ctrl and J to duplicate them. Then I'll move them downwards like so. Ctrl and J again for another set, and boom, we are done. Guys, this is cool, right? Very easy to do. Okay, so we are done with the design. Yeah. So this is our Happy Friday flyer. And trust me, you can use flyers of this kind to promote your social media platforms. You can actually post these flyers on your Facebook and then Instagram accounts for more views and engagement. So why don't you learn graphic designs with me? Why don't you learn these skills with me and keep yourself on the go? All right, now let us get the work saved. Click on File on the menu bar, then Save As. Yes, because we chose a document name, we have our file name already. All right, but I have already created this piece of work with the same file name, and so what I'll do is to add something to it. So I'll call this Happy Friday Flyer 2. Go ahead and click on Save to get it saved. We just saved the PSD version, that is the Photoshop version, which we can always come back and edit or modify. But we actually need the file, the PNG file or the JPEG file for our social media handles. So let us quickly do that. Click on File on the menu bar again, and then choose Save As. This time around, change the Save As type or the file type from PSD to JPEG. We've got it here, and then save. Yeah. Then let us click on OK here, and now we have gotten our JPEG file format of our entire masterpiece. I hope you have learned something new today. If you enjoyed the lesson and have learned something new today, then kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave your comment, share the video, and hit the notification bell so that you can always be notified anytime I post a new video. Thank you for watching. See you in my next lesson.